Hello YouTube, welcome back to the first time to actual long form video. Today's video I'm gonna be showing you guys every single good loadout for every single weapon type. First we got the assault rifle. I'm using the EVGA 3. My loadout, like in my opinion, the best loadout for me is either coyote sight, the optic suppressors. You're gonna choose the R suppressor. The underbarrel, you're gonna have the vertical grip. For the other, you're gonna have the green laser. Now for my secondary, I'm running on the revolvers, the MP412 Rex with default sight, cowboy barrel, speed loader, and default ammo. I'm gonna show you guys what this loadout can do. So far, this loadout for the revolver is currently 2-shot. I think for its max range, it's 3-shot, and it's 1-shot all ranges. Most ranges, headshot. One more time, because the assault rifle. See what this EVGA 3 can do. Now, you can differentiate with the optic, because most of the time when using a assault rifle you're going mid-range fire. It's good hip firing at close range, and it has 0 recoil, so it's good all ranges. But sometimes we're going long ranges with the coyote sight, it's gonna be kind of hard to see. So I would prefer comp aim point if we're going on like more long ranges maps, like maps with the towers and stuff. Wall bang with this thing, it isn't that good, but it's sufficient enough. We can actually do some real damage. Alright, so moving on to the battle rifle. My battle rifle that I normally use, if I do use it, is the M14. Now there really isn't much of this loadout. It's basically default everything except the barrel, which is the R suppressor. Now the reason I'm not really using anything on this loadout, because it doesn't need anything. Its fire rate is insanely fast, and with this suppressor, it like balances out all the recoil. My zip fire is amazing. I don't even need a laser, it just like directly hits. I prefer this M14 class being on close range maps like Penthouse. I would say if you're going to use this on like another long ranger map like Ravid or Metro, you would not really want to use this, because although the suppressor balances out recoil, it's still not that great for long ranges. Let's for one more time. And this some pretty good damage. Each bullet does about 40 to 60 damage. It's really good. I don't know how that guy do not that. Now I feel like the magazine could be a little higher, because this fire rate is like off the roof, so you're gonna be wasting your mags so much. As you can see, the hipfire there is really good. Look at this high fire rate. Most of the weapons and final forces, when you're sprinting, the first bullet's always gonna go off to the side. But since it's so fast, only like after like 2 bullets already, you're gonna be shooting straight forward. Alright, on to the next assault. We have the carbine. Now the best one right now, for me, I would say M4A1 if you're just starting out. Once you get later on into the ranks, you could use the OTS 126. Now this loadout it's a good loadout for many reasons. First, it's mainly mid-range and close range. I wouldn't say just long range because it has a bit of a recoil push-up. The loadout for this, for my red dot, I have comp aim point. For my barrel, I'm running the X-ring. My underbarrel, vertical grip. For my other, I'm running a green laser, and for ammo, normal ammo. My secondary, I'm running the same M4 MP412 Rex build, because you're gonna need something for one-shotting. I'll show you guys what this build can do. I'll show you guys what the recoil pattern on this gun is. It kind of stays there and it just goes up like an inch and it just stays there. The magazine is pretty big, 45 mag on this thing. It's like 3 to 4 shot. If you're hitting headshots, I think it's a 2 shot. Most of the time. I particularly also use this weapon on warehouse because it just has like the best options to shoot from. And for a shotgun, this is the AK-12/76. Loadout, you don't really need anything, you just need the R2 suppressor, and that's it. Everything else is default. This shotgun is kind of good mid-range. Obviously, it's not gonna one-shot because it is a shotgun. It's like a 3-shot mid-range and 1-shot close range. As you can see right there. If you're doing mid-range, each shell, each like bullet inside the shell is gonna do around 15 to 20 damage instead of its normal 30 to 40. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good damage for mid-range or a shotgun. Alright, the next build is Scout class. For PDW, I'm running the MP7. And for this build, you're gonna want default sight, X-ring, skeleton grip, red laser, and ammo default. Now this loadout is especially good. It's high fire rate SMG, and it's stabilized control. You can hit your headshots really well. And since it's one of the more smaller SMGs, you are gonna gain a bit more speed than you normally would with an average SMG. Now, if you do want more speed, you do want a bit more speed on the MP7. But instead of having a laser, you could always have a retract stock for your mod. And the only downside I feel on this SMG, like if you're like midway through the road, if you hold down the shoot button, it'll automatically shoot for you. That is one of the downsides. So you're not gonna have like an automatic shoot in the middle of your reload. Exit fire is really good. On to the next weapon. DMR. For the DMR right now, it's kind of mixed. It's either the Dragunov SVU or the VSS Venturis. Right now, the best choice right now, if you want more of a mid-range, you could use the VSS Venturis. But if you want more long-range DMR, use the Dragunov SVU. So I'm gonna give you guys loadouts for both of these. The Dragunov SVU. My scopes, I'm using the PKA. My barrel, I'm using the X-Ring. For my underbarrel, I'm using Skeleton Grip. My other, I'm using Green Laser. Now, VSS Venturis. The only thing that you really need on this gun is comp aim point. Could have a grip, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really do anything unless you are using the automatic mode on this DMR. The recoil gets like out of control a lot. So comp aim point, vertical grip, and red laser are the best things you could use. I'm gonna show you guys what this VSS Venturis can do. Holy. No, right now, mid-range, it is 2-shot. I believe long range, it is 3-shot. I'm sure because of the Dragunov SVU can do. Now, it is a little slow, so if you're having a close range fight, it's not gonna go that well unless you hip fire it. But then you gain more movement on that. Right now, it's not really good. The only time I would actually use the Dragunov SVU is on like Ravid, like revamp for 2019. So far, I would like not recommend the Dragunov unless you're playing on a map with the cranes. You might be able to hit shots. That's it. Carbine, we already covered that. Shotgun, we covered that. On to support. Support weapon I'm using right now is the AK-12BR in the LMG section. I'm running comp aim point, but you could differentiate with PKA. Use comp aim point. For the barrel, I'm using the compensator. Most of the time, I like to use the R suppressor if you want it more silenced, because this weapon has a 96 mag, so it's gonna reveal you a lot. But if you want more of the recoil control, you can use the compensator. For underbarrel, I'm using vertical grip, and for other, I'm using remove stock. This gives us more speed because it is an LMG. I'll show you guys what it can do. I'm gonna switch between muzzle and suppressor. I forgot to say secondary, but the secondary I'm using is the SMG50. With coyote sight, and that's basically it. Now I would put no stock on if you want like more movement, and that is okay. I just feel like you want like maximum stability when you're aiming, so it is alright. Now it's not one shot all ranges like the BFG-50. I'll cover that later, but it is still a secondary, so it's not gonna do everything like a sniper. It is one shot most ranges. I feel like if you're going far into long range, I believe it could one shot all ranges if you hit a headshot. See right there is 300. I believe all ranges like max or something could headshot. Show you guys this. It's a VR. As you can see, recoil is kind of stabilized. There has a really high fire rate. Fire rate is pretty high like this. Recoil is really maximized. You know, it mainly goes in one direction, so you can hip fire this thing. I would recommend, instead of putting a no stock, you could put a laser if you want to like hit your hip fire shots better. That is just in my opinion. For battle rifles, we covered that. Carbine and shotgun, we covered all that. The last thing until I go into the secondaries, the snipers. I am running the BFG 50. So right now, my current loadout that I use most of the time is loadout. So this loadout, for the scope, I'm using the ACOG scope. For the barrel, I'm using the heavy barrel. The under barrel, I'm using skeleton grip. For other, I'm using ballistics tracker. Now, the reason why I love this loadout so much is it's mostly one shot all ranges. Oh yeah, the secondary, I'm using the PP2000. I'm using the Mars red dot sight, red laser, R suppressor, and I believe that's it. Now, the reason the loadout is so good for me is because you can technically see everything and know where everyone's like head is, so you can hit your headshots better. But if you do want to see like more around you, you could use coyote sight. But if you were to use coyote sight, I wouldn't recommend using ballistics tracker, but since it is a small red dot sight on this sniper, ballistics tracker is gonna kind of mess you up, because most of the ballistics tracker part is gonna like cover up your sight when you're when you find somebody, as you can see right there. So you won't be able to see them really well. So instead, I would choose like a blue or any of the other lasers. Or then again, you could also use remove stock. This gives you more of a speed in case you're shooting someone and you miss, and like you have to move away quickly. You could always use that. Overall, BFG-50 is just a really good sniper for any purposes. Right there. My hip fire is not great, obviously, because it's a sniper. But for close ranges, you could hit some hip fire shots. And I'm on to the secondaries, all secondaries. For pistols, if I would use a pistol, it would be the Desert Eagle L5. Now, one of the main loadouts I would use for this is R2 suppressor, TA44 ACOG and red laser. This in general is just really good loadout because you aim down sights, it's gonna be really fast. And it's like a 3-tap weapon. Machine pistols, PP2000. I already explained this loadout. Mars, optic, R suppressor, and red laser. Now, you could use Z1AC, but it's a good machine pistol. It just, you can't really control the recoil, such as like the Tech 9. 93R is a semi-autic, so it's a 3 bullets. Like, you shoot 3 bullets at a time. It's not that great for taking on enemies. Revolvers, MP412 Rex. Now there's 2 things you could use with the MP412 Rex. You could have default my loadout cowboy barrel or speed loader. But if you want more of a long range option with this, you could use the Leopold M8-2X for your optic. For your barrel, you could use carbine barrel, and for other, you could use the Rex stock. This basically just turns into a sniper. Now, the price is, yeah, it's going to be a little expensive, but since I'm playing on console, the prices for the credits are going to be different than PC. So not all loadouts in this video are going to be like the same price as they would on others. Basically it. And for other, SFG50, Coyote sight and remove stock is mainly the best way to go. Because the secondary, you're gonna need something to take care of you. If you're using the super shorty, one thing I do like to use on this, for the suppressor, you're gonna want the PBS4 suppressor. For other, red laser, and that's it. Default optic, default ammo. And that's basically gonna be it. Melee, ritual sickle. But for most of them, for grenade, I'm using the RGD5HE. It's basically what I like to use the most. It's just a really good grenade, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to the next video.